If you are a software engineer like me, you might face a situation where meetings become an enemy than an ally. So we went to a huge amount of meetings, endless topic, and no resolution. In this video, I give you 7 pillars to make your meetings more efficient and make those as useful tool inside software development. The first pillar is having a clear scope and objective. So make sure that if you are the one who's driving those meetings, you have a clear title and description with a scope and the definition of success of this meeting. So this way you can understand if this meeting was a success or failure meeting. Furthermore, people who was invited, they can see what's going on there, and if it does or if it doesn't make sense to go enjoy this meeting. Indeed, several tools have the option to do an invite with the option or the flag of this person is optional or required to this kind of meeting. So make sure that you have the clear title, description, people, optional and required, and the clear definition of success. So after this meeting, I want to achieve this goal. The second one is remember the Parkinson law. And what does that mean? In summary, try to put a short period of time. So I know that we love a lot this 1 hour meeting. My advice to you is try 30, 35 minutes or maximum of 40 minutes. Because at the end, if I have a huge amount of time, I will by default try to consume or spend as much as possible. So in this case, remember the Parkinson law and make sure that you have short period of meetings. Otavio, but I have a huge amount of discussions or the discussion is tough. So that will become my third pillar. So make sure that you have a clear direction. So avoid the bike speeding. So or the law of the triviality inside those meetings. So if people are discussing what is out of the scope that we defined in the first pillar, you can drive or you can request, hey guys, this is the goal of this meeting and the discussion is not going to that direction. So please, let's return to our goal. And naturally, if I will do a discussion around software architecture, design, architecture decision records, avoid surprise. Give those informations with at least 1 day so people can review, can even give feedbacks about this asynchronously. So they don't need to do that on the meeting. Remember, if you went to a meeting with 10, 20 engineers to just read the document together, you are assuming that those engineers are not able to read. And that is bad, right? So avoid surprise. So clear descriptions, a title, and so on, as I mentioned. Plus, if it is a discussion about a pull request, make sure that this pull request is available on the description. And by future, enhance and evangelize people to do that as asynchronous as possible. So you can save time because people will have the clear understanding of the scope of this discussion. And my fifth pillar is do scalability. I know that we hate documentation, but we hate one thing even more: meetings. So documentation can decrease the number of meetings. So write documentation. So every time that someone needs to learn something that you already decided, they can go to that documentation. So they can read directly the architecture decision records, they can read directly the README file, and so on. So the scalability is wonderful, especially when we talk about reducing the number of meetings. And then we go to the next one where we're going to discuss do asynchronous first. So we understood that you need to have time at least one day to let people review. The next step is evangelize people to do that asynchronous as possible. So talk to people to review the document that is in the descriptions. If you have pull requests, evangelize to them to do suggestions. If it's a Google Docs, the same way. So the idea is to avoid surprise on that meeting. And the last one is every meeting should have at least a definition of success. So in the next step, make sure that you have the decisive outcome of those meetings. So we agree to go to or to approve these attached to the senior records. Nice. So make sure that people will know about that using documentation. And again, the scalability. So that is it. Those are the 7 pillars of doing a good meeting inside your team. If you are software engineer, software architect, manager, and so on, remember those, because saving time, it is wonderful, especially when our impact is about doing code and impact the product instead of joining to meeting that is not useful. That is it for today. Hopefully you enjoy those 7 pillars. So that's the screen where you can use to memorize all of those. Hopefully you enjoy, and please let me know how wonderful are the meetings for you.